I want you guys to mark your calendars and remember today, because this day is the day. This is the moment. And Terence Bud Crawford, he just planted the flag in that moment. It's the boxing revolution.
Ain't paying your ass shit.
Crawford, widely considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, has drawn a line no one expected. He has made it absolutely clear he isn't paying that $300,000 fee, and he isn't apologizing to anyone. For Bud, this is about far more than money or sanctioning costs. It's about principle and respect. He's standing firm against the people in power, fully willing to risk everything to show that his integrity is not something that can be bought.
It's free! How you love that? $180,000 free. How much your belt cost? I wonder, how much your belt cost? Huh? I don't see no receipts on your belt. It's crazy. Y'all be having so much taxes on these belts. You got some nerves. It's crazy that you can sit up there and have all these belts. You know, you got the WBC silver, the WBA intern, the whatever belt y'all got, and you taxing these fighters every time they fight, and you claim that you for these fighters. You're not for these fighters. You probably worse than the promoters. But hey, I wish you the best, you know? I wish you the best, you and your company.
The headlines exploded this morning. Terence Crawford has now been officially stripped of his WBC super middleweight title. But if you think this is just some routine paperwork issue or a simple missed deadline, you're missing the real story. This is a full-scale rebellion. Crawford didn't just lose the belt. He slammed it right back in their faces with a viral rant that exposed the dark and greedy side of boxing politics.
Mauricio, I appreciate you. Because everybody in the world know you was going for Canelo. You was mad that I beat Canelo. It's okay. It happens, you know? But if you a real fan of the sport, you would have, you know, said congratulations instead of having that little smirk on your face, all mad and pouting. But listen, though. You should have took the money, and you should have been thankful and grateful that I was rocking your belt around as your champion. As your champion, the WBC champion. The undisputed champion at that. But you want to make it about you. You want to say, oh, well, you stripping me. Like, I've been stripped before. IBF just stripped me when I was at 147. Doesn't matter. I'm still considered the undisputed champion. I'm still the champion in the division. Because you know why? The only belt that's recognizable as the champion is the ring belt, baby. That's the #1 belt in the division. That trumps all belts.
Understand why Crawford is so furious. You have to view this from the perspective of the man who took the belt away, WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman. According to the WBC, they believe they were actually the good guys here. Normally, when a fighter wins a major unification fight, the sanctioning bodies take about 3% of the purse. On a $50 million payday, that number would easily cross $1 million just for the right to fight for the green belt. Sulaiman claims he stepped in to help Crawford by cutting that fee dramatically. He publicly stated that the organization agreed to lower the cost to just 0.6%. In their eyes, asking for $300,000 from a $50 million pot was a massive discount, almost a favor to the fighter. Sulaiman sat waiting for the payment, or at least a response. Instead, he got silence. When the deadline passed and the money still didn't arrive, Sulaiman called it a slap in the face, insisting that Crawford's refusal wasn't just about the fee, but a personal insult to the organization that supported him.
We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route. No response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm relieved.
Terence Crawford, however, sees that so-called favor as nothing more than a shakedown. In a video response now racking up millions of views across social media, Crawford looks straight into the camera with real anger. He isn't reading a scripted statement. He is unloading. His argument is simple but devastating. Why is the WBC acting like they're special? He explains that he already paid sanctioning fees to the IBF, the WBO, and the WBA without hesitation. Those organizations accepted the payments and moved on. The WBC was the only one demanding more. Crawford asks the same question every fan is now thinking. Who do you think you are? He accuses the WBC of having an inflated ego, believing they stand above the other sanctioning bodies. To Crawford, this wasn't a discounted fee at all. It was an unnecessary tax, just because they knew he had made huge money. He refused to be pressured into paying extra simply because the belt is green, telling Sulaiman directly, "I won't apologize."
I see Mauricio, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another 100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any of the other sanction bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit. Fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. Who you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanction bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanction bodies agree to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt.
Everything intensifies when Crawford shifts the attention from the payment to the corrupt soul of the entire system. This is where the fight changes from a dispute over rules to a struggle between workers and rulers. He reminds the world of the harsh truth behind each bout. He is the one taking the punches. He is the one risking lifelong injury while stepping into the ring with courage every single time. Meanwhile, the officials demanding these fees stay at safe distances, living comfortable lives built on the sacrifice of the fighters. He creates a harsh and unforgettable image of boxing leaders, flying in private jets, sleeping in luxury suites, and eating the finest meals, while the athletes absorb the pain. He compares the sanctioning bodies to a failing government draining the workers to support the powerful. When he says you better slap yourself, he is speaking for every fighter who has felt used by the people in charge. The moment becomes powerful because it stops being about money and becomes a demand for respect for the physical cost paid by those who actually fight and for honor, dignity, and the future of every fighter.
That don't even make sense. I'm the motherfucker that's putting my life on the line, not you. You ain't stepping your motherfucking ass in that ring. You or nobody else. You or nobody else. So why should I have to pay to carry your belt? You should be paying me. If you want to be truthful, you should be paying me. I don't see it. It irks my nerves how this dude gets on a plane, gets a hotel suite. Him and his buddies, they go out to dinner, 5-star meals, all that, and guess who got to pay for it? Us fighters. We paying for y'all to come out here, have the time of y'all life, stay in the best hotels of y'all life, and it's all done on our dime. It's done on our dime. Do that sound right to y'all? It's crazy, ain't it? We the one out there getting battered, knocked upside our head, and every time we step foot in the ring, we got to pay them a sanction fee like they the government. We getting taxed. It's crazy.
Perhaps the most damaging part of this entire saga for the WBC is how Crawford destroys the value of their product. For decades, a green belt has been promoted as the ultimate prize in boxing, the one every fighter dreams of raising high. But in one short video, Crawford dismisses it as a worthless trophy. He tells them they can come take it back because it is just a piece of metal and leather that demands too much money to keep. He then shifts to the only belt he believes truly matters, the Ring magazine belt. His logic is hard to challenge. The Ring belt represents history. It represents standing as the undisputed best in the division. And most importantly, they do not demand sanctioning fees. By lifting the Ring belt as the real symbol of a champion, Crawford is telling the world that greatness does not require payment to any organization. It is a public relations disaster for the WBC, suggesting that their approval is something purchased rather than something earned.
You, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit. The fucking real belt is the Ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. Who you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanction bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanction bodies agree to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt. It's a trophy anyway. The fuck am I paying you every time I step foot in the fucking ring?
Of course, Crawford has a theory about why this is happening right now, and it involves the man he just beat, Canelo Alvarez. Crawford accuses the WBC of playing favorites, specifically pointing to the saga of David Benz. For 2 long years, Benz was the mandatory challenger for the WBC title, waiting for his shot at Canelo. The rules say Canelo should have been stripped for not fighting him, but the WBC let Canelo hold the belt hostage without penalty.
Now, since Canelo is no longer a belt holder coming into his next fight, a fight that's still expected to make a lot of money due to Canelo's popularity and ongoing contract with Riyadh season, this means that for the first time in 7 years, not a single sanctioning body will benefit from Canelo's earnings. So the sooner Canelo becomes champion again, the better for them. But for the time being, they'll have to rely on Terence Crawford as their sanctioning fee provider. These sanctioning bodies make a lot of money from Canelo being their champion. Like, why did you think there wasn't any pressure coming from them when Benavidez was Canelo's mandatory? It's because if Canelo lost, then they'll have to rely on Benavidez and his $7 million purses. And if they decide to bully and pressure Canelo, and Canelo says, you know what, screw it, and decides to vacate the belt instead, then it's the same thing. They lose the benefit of a Canelo payday.
Now, the moment Crawford wins, that same belt he gets stripped instantly over a fee dispute. Crawford calls this out as favoritism sad. He believes the organization is bitter that he derailed their golden goose. In his mind, Sulaiman and his team were secretly rooting for Canelo. And now that Crawford has upset the cash cow, they are punishing him with strict enforcement of rules they were happy to ignore for the Mexican superstar. It paints a picture of a rigged system where the rules only apply to fighters the organization does not like.
Terence Crawford had an issue with the WBC this morning. They stripped him at 168 pounds. He was complaining about sanctioning fees and things like that. Just what are your thoughts on that whole issue?
¿Cuál es tu opinión de lo que pasó con Terence Crawford por la mañana, que lo dejaron sin el cinturón de la CMB por no pagar la tarifa del cinturón?
Bueno, es algo que se tiene que cumplir, como el protocolo de antidopaje con BADA, pero bueno, él sabrá por qué no quiso pagar.
Look, it's something that like it just has to be done, like any protocol, like BADA, for example, right? So it is what it is.
However, before we paint Crawford as the perfect martyr, there is a twist in this story that his supporters might have missed. As the internet debates this fallout, some sleuths on forums like Reddit have pointed out a specific detail about that $300,000 fee. Reports suggest that a significant portion of that money, allegedly around $225,000, was designated for a specific fund, the WBC's charity for retired boxers.
This is exactly what we're talking about. Fighters, don't adhere to these rules. Don't pay these fees. Like, don't do it. Don't fall for it. And then I see in the middle of the show, Nick Khan is on Pat McAfee's show kind of saying the exact same thing. Saying that, like, look, this is a perfect example as to why. I think the quote was something like, what was the quote? I saw it here moments ago. Golly, I saw it. Does anyone have it? There was
the quote is, what we're looking to do with the Muhammad Ali Revival Act is presenting a different option for boxers. We'll have our own ranking systems and the champion will fight the number one contender. Let's do things in a credible way. So they're trying to like organize it in a way that, you know, there's one singular belt, there's a ranking system, UFC style.
This adds a layer of complexity to the drama. The WBC has a program designed to help former champions who have fallen on hard times, often struggling with health issues or poverty. If the fee was indeed earmarked for that, cause Crawford's refusal to pay looks less like a stand against corporate greed and more like a refusal to help the pioneers of the sport. The WBC has not loudly played this card yet, but it is the one counter-argument that could damage Crawford's reputation if the public turns on him. Is he fighting corruption, or is he just being stingy with money that could have helped suffering fighters? Ultimately, this blowout is about more than just one belt or one fee. It is a signal that the power dynamics in boxing are shifting. During his rant, Crawford explicitly references Turkey and nod to Turki Al-Sheikh, the Saudi advisor, who has recently been pumping massive amounts of money into the sport to make big fights happen. Crawford is suggesting that the old guard, the traditional sanctioning bodies, with their fees and politics, are becoming obsolete. He expresses hope that this new influx of leadership and money will clean up the sport and remove figures like Sullivan who ruin the sport with these antics. It is a bold call for a revolution. Crawford is betting that in this new era of super fights and massive direct paydays, fighters do not need the WBC as much as the WBC needs the fighters.
Turkey, I hope y'all get that done, man. I hope y'all get that done so we can all see, you know, people face like this guy, you know, go away from boxing because they ruin the sport with all these antics that they do. You know, they got they ranking systems when people be mandatories for years, like Benavidez. You know, they don't strip these fighters, but I give credit to the IBF. They stripped me. They ain't even give me time. They stripped me, pop me, even though I wasn't, you know, coming back down the weight, but, you know, they handled their business. They did what they were supposed to do. The WBC, you ain't never see them strip no Canelo.
So where does this leave us? The record books will show that Terence Crawford was stripped of the WBC super middleweight title in December 2025. But as Crawford said himself while laughing at the camera, history has already been made, baby. They can take the physical belt out of his trophy case, but they cannot erase the footage of him defeating Canelo.
Yo, Tim Storm Bradley, you already know the damn rest. Hey, oh, this Terence Crawford is going on. But they all missing it. He missing it too. This ain't about no damn WBC. I'm gonna keep the buck with you. Oh, I want y'all to think, man. I told y'all, this is the channel to make y'all think. This about Hamzah Sheeraz. It's about him getting a strap. That's what this is about. Whose guy is that? Who guy is that? Think about it. That's what this is about. It ain't about the money. It's about Hamzah Sheeraz. It's about Sheeraz getting that belt. Yeah, without having to go through Crawford. That's what this is about. Oh, think about it. Anyways, that's my time. Tim Desert Storm Bradley, you already know the damn rest, and I'm out.
Crawford is betting his legacy that the fans know who the real champion is regardless of what trinkets he wears around his waist. He walked away with $50 million as pride and the Ring magazine title, leaving the WBC with a vacant belt and a public relations disaster. It forces us to ask in the modern era of boxing, do the belts make the fighter or does the fighter make the belts? Crawford has certainly made his choice. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.